Governor-elect Gianforte had his first sit-down interview with MTN News since winning the November election and becoming Montana's first Republican governor in 16 years. In a wide-ranging discussion, Gianforte talked about everything from getting schools open again to his search for a new cabinet to plans for tackling the ongoing crisis of COVID-19. MTN's chief political reporter Mike Dennison conducted the interview and has more.
Gianforte says he's hit the ground running since winning November 3rd, choosing his inner circle and now nailing down his cabinet, who will run state agencies.
Cabinet picks are incredibly important. I campaigned on bringing new leadership to these agencies, bringing a culture of customer service back. I got the short list from the nominating committees last week, but there are still resumes coming in.
He says most picks should be unveiled later this month. Also in the next 4 weeks, Gianforte says he hopes to lay out preliminary recommendations from his appointed task force to get COVID-19 under control in Montana.
I've asked the task force to look at this from every angle, from how are we going to distribute vaccines to how we're going to do testing. What restrictions should be in place for small business?
As for public health mandates or restrictions, Gianforte isn't tipping his hand too much yet. But he said while he'll be wearing a mask in the Capitol and recommending others do too, he indicated he probably won't be requiring it.
I generally believe in personal responsibility rather than mandates. I think Montanans will do the right thing when presented with the facts. And we have a serious health condition, and we have to consider the health and well-being of others as well.
When it comes to schools, Gianforte says he wants to get classrooms open across the state because face-to-face learning is vital, and that he believes it can be done safely.
I'm optimistic with the coming of the availability of a vaccine. As we make that available to families and teachers and our frontline healthcare workers, we're going to be able to get back to normal, and we have to for the sake of the future of our kids.
He'll also be working on a new budget and getting ready for the legislature, which he expects will start on time on January 4th. But the former software entrepreneur made clear that the economy and the health of Montanans is paramount on his mind.
Ultimately, I want to make it easier for small businesses. I want to make it easier for the families that are struggling, particularly those that have lost jobs through this period of the pandemic. We need to get healthy, and we need to get our economy going again. I'd like to look back, and people say that when Gianforte took office, that was the turning point towards better outcomes for more Montanans.
So far, it looks like Mr. Gianforte is proceeding much as he promised in his campaign, in a deliberate business-like approach. What that means for specific policy steps to address the pandemic and the economy, for that, we'll have to wait a bit longer. Reporting from Bozeman, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Gianforte will be sworn into office as Montana's 25th governor on January 4th.